Hey everybody, welcome to Cherry Wayne. My name is Mary, and I'm just gonna do kind of a quick one today, a little bit of everything. I personally like to work with all different types of art and fiber, but today I have knitting, crochet, and sewing to show you and talk about really quick. Two of them you can see right here. I have finished some pillows. So the first one I have here is this really pretty. The white fabric has gray beetles all over it, and then this really soft lavender fabric has butterflies and flowers on it. I don't remember the name of this quilt block. I'll add it below once I go back and look at it. And then I had this in my stash, just a lemon fabric. And I went through my yarn stash yesterday to see, I'm trying to shift to more natural fibers and just experiment with different things, and especially experiment with different weights of yarn. So I had a lot of Red Heart and a couple other brands, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with those. It just, they're not what I want to work with right now for the time being. And so I just went through my whole yarn stash to see what I wanted to keep and get rid of. And instead of throwing it away, I'm going to use it as a fiber fill because I do a lot of things that I need stuffing for. And it actually turned out really soft and squishy. It's very nice. It's not too dense. But yeah, I will remember the name of this. And there's actually her name is Amanda. She's done all different kinds of sewing tutorials. I really love her channel, so I'll link her whole channel below. But also this video. This is one of my favorite quilt blocks, and I just love her channel and her videos, so I will link that below for anybody that does sewing. And then I just finished this yesterday. I don't remember the name of the pattern, but I do remember the designer. The designer is Crochet or Cry. She does all tapestry crochet, and I got this pattern on Etsy, but she does have her own website as well. So I followed the tapestry crochet pattern. This is Red Heart yarn. They're Red Heart Fleck. All this here. And then this burnt orange color, which is actually like a really dark rust. It just looks a little brighter in the camera. This is a Hobby Lobby yarn. And then this really soft gray is also a Hobby Lobby yarn. And then I had some scrap fabric. This is a linen blend, I'm pretty sure. So I just I steam blocked this lightly because this is acrylic. And then for my floats and all that on the back, I had a fabric stiffener that I put on there. And then I did sew a border all the way around, and I did a leaf embroidery, which it's also an orange, so it's a little hard to see it. But yeah, I also filled this with scrap yarn as well. There is a little bit of fiber fill in here, but definitely recommend the pattern designer for this. She has a whole book of spooky stuff out, so if you're interested in tapestry crochet, first of all, but also if you're interested in more spooky themed stuff, definitely check her out. I love how that turned out. This ended up being about an 18-inch pillow. But you can do this with any weight of yarn and any hook. And you can actually knit this as well, because the way the pattern is written, you can kind of do it whatever you want. But it's designed to be tapestry crochet, so I just followed the pattern according to that. So those are the two things I finished recently. And then I have a one work in progress and one that is on the way. But I will show you. Let me pull up. I'm going to show you here on my tablet really quickly. So this is a paid for pattern. It's called Bub Bonnet. I couldn't tell you where I'm going to wear this or what I'm going to do with it. But this picture to me, when someone else mentioned it and I went to look up the pattern, I think it's really beautifully done. I think it's really cool. I think the photography done to show off the pattern is really, really cool. And if you wanted to do it for, you know, Halloween or something, but you could do it any time of year. But the reason I also wanted to show it is there's a version with shorter horns, longer horns, and then the way it's written, you can also just do it as a bonnet, like a plain bonnet, and it's written to fit children all the way up to adults. So you can see that's so cute. And then she has this picture here. Super cute. So it's a very versatile pattern. You don't have to go all out with the horn aspect, but and I'm usually not a red person either, but I just think it's gorgeous. I think it's really cool. I don't have the needles that it calls for. The pattern designer is Lydia Morrow, and I will link it below. It is a paid for pattern on Ravelry, and it is knitting. I really just wanted to make it. I have no patience to wait, so I have this really, really bright skein of red. This was Joanne's yarn, but Joanne's is no longer. So I also didn't have the appropriate needles either because I am just impatient. So anyways, it calls for DK weight yarn, and then I think 2.75 millimeter for certain parts and 3.5 millimeter for the main body of it. And you work it flat and in the round, so you need circulars, and at some point double pointed if you want to use double pointed, but I didn't have any of that, so I have this, which is worsted weight. And then I have some double pointed needles in a size 4 millimeter. So I know this is going to be a little bit larger, but I just want to make it. If I really, really like it as much as I think I will, then I will buy the appropriate needles and some DK weight yarn. Again, where I'm going to wear it, what I'm going to do with it, I have absolutely no idea. It might just be for fun, for some pictures. And then I guess I would probably, you know, display it somewhere. But I like that you can wear it as just a bonnet. You can add all kinds of different finishings to it. You could do the horns. I just thought that the way she showcased all the versions of it are just absolutely beautiful. So it's kind of a time of year it would make sense if I were to wear it as well. So making it a little bit harder on myself by using DPNs instead of circular needles, but hey, it'll be alright. So that is that pattern. I'll link that below. And then I have an order. I had made someone and I don't have pictures right now. I'll try to get better at learning how to like add a picture right here. I try to just film this all in one and upload it really quickly and not have to do any editing to it, but if I can, I will find the picture. But there is someone I have made hoods for. Well, I made a wizard hat for him, I made a hood, and he specifically wanted natural fiber yarn, which was exciting to me because You don't have to use natural fiber yarn, and you don't have to use expensive yarn to enjoy your craft, but for different purposes and longevity, or just whatever reason you have, sometimes using a natural fiber really is a nicer option. And I've been doing a lot of research because a lot of people I notice say the same brand very often. So I hear Drops a lot, I've heard Knitting by Olive a lot, and a lot of other things. So I went looking for it because I know that in the US it's kind of hard to come across certain things. But I actually found some sources where, like this yarn, if you get it on sale, yes, it's very inexpensive, very cheap, and you get more yardage, but, and it's very easily washable. So for donating and gifting, acrylic yarn is a really great option. It doesn't matter if you're knitting or crocheting, but no matter what you do with it, it can be really, really hot. And you don't always want something that's hot. And in the case of keeping you warm, the difference between acrylic yarn keeping you warm and a wool blend or some other fiber keeping you warm, it is quite different. It's kind of a similar concept to, like, I sleep with cotton sheets as opposed to microfiber. It's easier for you to regulate your own temperature if you're using a natural fiber, whereas if you're using acrylic or microfiber or something like that, you can't really regulate your own temperature, so you can get hot more easily. So anyways, there's pros and cons to all of them, and whatever you want to do with yours is up to you. But nonetheless, he wanted specifically natural fibers for this, and because I am trying to get into using more natural fibers myself, just for the sake of being a little more eco-conscious, and again, I struggle with regulating my temperature and things like that, so being more mindful about the materials that I use for myself would benefit me quite a bit. I got the yarn from Knit Picks. I don't remember what it was called, and it was a cotton wool blend because around the time that it was ordered, it was summer. The wizard hat I did make with acrylic yarn, and then the hood was fire colors, and it was requested to make that with natural fiber. So very long story short, he has requested another hood, and I've been trying to get back into knitting for various reasons. There's certain things that are knit that I just prefer the look and the feel of the fabric, and some things you can mimic with crochet, but not everything. So when he ordered the hood, I asked him if it was okay if I knit it, even though it's going to take me a lot longer to do it as a commission. It's really not a great business strategy because it takes me a lot longer, but I just thought the finished look is going to look so amazing. So let me show you. Let me see here. I did pay for this pattern. I did order everything that I need for it, and so I wanted to talk about this very quickly. So let me show you. This is the Hoodola pattern. It's a hooded cowl, and the designer is Laura Nelkin. And this is one picture of the hood. This is another way that you can wear the hood. And then this is the original design that she had done for it, so it didn't have a casing or an I-cord originally. But the person that ordered this, they live in Connecticut, so the climate there, you can often have some pretty harsh winters. So this calls for a DK weight yarn and a combination of a 4.5mm and 4mm knitting needles. So because he wanted natural fibers, it was the perfect opportunity for me to experiment with the yarns that I have heard people talking about a lot. And one of the yarns that was mentioned, a lot of people use it, both in the US and in the UK. Also in Australia, people use it a lot because I follow people from all over. Is Drops yarn. And so I had assumed, since I hear that spoken frequently, it must be pretty affordable. And I was actually surprised it was way more affordable than I thought, like extremely so. Even to have it shipped here to the US. So let me look and see. I know this is going to take a second, but you're here to hang out with me for just a minute, so it'll be alright. I ordered Drops Extra Fine. It's a super wash wool yarn. And I will be knitting that hood, but I'm also going to do some color work. I will either do, sorry, I'm just trying to pull up the yarn really quick. This is knit solid, but I'm gonna do, he wants it water themed, so I'm gonna do some color work or some duplicate stitching to make it look like waves. So let me just pull up this yarn. I found this place called Linda Hobby. I know some people use Wool Warehouse. I haven't tried that yet. I just placed my first order from here because the shipping was, in my opinion, really affordable, and the prices of the yarn was really affordable. And okay, I needed to do multiple colors as well, so this is Drops Merino Extra Fine. It is a DK weight yarn. It's 100% wool, but it does say that it's super wash, which I did not need it to be a super wash for this order. He would have been perfectly happy with any natural fiber and a hand wash method. But these are all the colors that it comes in. And so I chose 5 different colors, and since it's water themed, I kind of stuck with this range here. I did like a light, medium, dark in this family here, and then a really dark one, and then I got this really light soft gray to do kind of like a wind look to it. So I also ordered the needles from here. I just talked about in another video that I purchased my first set of Knit Pro carbons, and I'm absolutely obsessed with them. Now for me they are expensive, but generally speaking they're pretty affordable. They range from like $15 to $25 depending which type of needle you're getting, but I'm just absolutely obsessed. So I only have these and 2 other sizes of double pointed needles in I'll show you one of them, in a regular aluminum set, and these are perfectly fine. I won't throw them away or anything, but I did not realize the drastic difference in the weight. These are so much heavier, and I don't know. I just, once I switch to these, I knit way faster. And it's just a lot easier on my hands because it's not as heavy. So, anyways, they have pretty much everything you need here. This store is out of Denmark, but they do worldwide shipping, deliveries in 4 to 8 days to the US, which even certain things that you order here in the US now, like you can't get stuff that fast a lot of the time unless you order from like Amazon or something. And then the shipping cost was again about the same that you would pay in the US. Like Knit Picks is a US company, and the yarn that I ordered for that last time was about $7 a ball, I think. Whereas this is like $3 a ball. And the shipping would have been about the same that I would have paid to order from Linda Hobby, and about the same timeline for shipping and all that. Because if you're here in the US, I don't know if you, it depends where you're ordering from, but I have ordered from 3 different companies for 3 completely separate reasons lately, and the shipping is really crazy high, and it's US orders shipped to the US, you know what I'm saying? So, anyways, to order from Linda Hobby was $10 shipping, and I did have to pay tariffs on it. It was 15% of your order cost, so it was about $15 really if you want to consider that for shipping. But like I said, I was gonna order from Knit Picks the other day. Their shipping is like $8. The yarn costs a lot more. The fiber content was about the same. So really, by the time I order from Linda Hobby, I haven't tried Wool Warehouse or anything yet, but it's cheaper to order from Denmark and have it shipped to me, and it's faster than it would be to order shit from the US, like on Etsy or wherever else. So I just wanted to put that out there for people that want to experiment with different tools or different yarn and wanted other options, especially because here in the US, Joann's has closed. So, you know, I know people are trying not to shop at Hobby Lobby as much as possible, just because of the different places that they support. But to a certain degree, like if you're not going to local yarn stores because they're hard to get to in your area, like I don't drive, so it's hard for me to get to them. Really the only place I can go to that's close to my house is Michael's. Everywhere else is too far for me to Uber, and so I'd have to order online. And again, by the time I pay the shipping, no matter where it is, even if it's in the US, my options are just really limited. So I do still shop at Hobby Lobby occasionally because for their acrylic yarn, it's a really nice quality, it's very affordable, and you know, you only have so many options. But again, I'm trying to branch out into natural fibers, and even if it's just for myself. But I already had this order for this hood. I asked him if it would be okay if I knit it, and he trusts me to do it however I want. I chose to do color work or some sort of duplicate stitch to create a wave pattern, and I don't know. I think the hood construction is really great, and the pattern designer, again, her name is Laura. The pattern was $8. However, she has 2 free YouTube videos discussing certain parts about the pattern, and it's a really great base that you can again customize in whatever way you want to. And the information that she gives you and the way she explains it, to me it was just totally worth it. You know, I'm a pattern designer myself, so as much as I can, I try to invest in other people as well, especially like this hood. I don't have any of the yarn or materials to make myself one right now, but I definitely want to at some point, so it was worth it to me to invest in the pattern for now, make that order, and then I can make myself one in the future. She originally didn't put the I-cord and the casing, but then her daughter wanted the I-cord and everything in the pattern so that she could cinch it around her face, because they live in New York, so again, there's a climate there where sometimes it gets really frigid and cold. So she goes into such amazing detail in the video explaining how to do the casing, and then it's just finished so beautifully, but it's easy, which was another big factor for me. There's also a way you can line the hood with silk if you want to, so for different hair types you could, protect your hair while still staying warm, so that's really great as well. So anyways, that is my finished objects for right now. I have a work in progress, and then I have an order on the way. And yeah, I know this video was a little bit longer, but I wanted to talk about the options for getting different yarns, because I feel like that's something, at least in the US, we need to talk more about. I'm sure a lot of people are already aware of that information, but it's still kind of new to me, so I did want to talk about it. And I hope everybody's doing great. I appreciate you spending some time with me, and we'll talk soon.